Yes, against these guys. Comes into the game averaging 8 rebounds and right around 14 points a game. A lot of success against these Maple Leafs, and they've really got pounded inside to begin here, I think, tonight.
So Hopkins got the tip, but he tipped it to Goshen, and so the Maple Leafs start off right off the bat. Pratt now turning over, and Gillott driving in. He's stripped of the ball. He gets it back. Widener strips him again. And so here come the Wildcats on their first offensive possession. No secret, try to get it into Hopkins. Bad pass, and once again, another turnover. We're coming this way.
Back and forth we go.
David Peters does a nice job of intercepting that pass. So here we go again, setting up that offense.
Saying these two teams know each other well would probably be an understatement. Played each other, this will be the third time this season.
Hopkins looking like a guard, kicking out to Martin for three. He misses. Gillott with the rebound. And here come the Maple Leafs. So Gillott getting things set up. He takes a three at the top of the key. He misses it, bounces around, and Hopkins comes up with the rebound. Both teams looking rather sloppy. However, nice pass inside to David Peters, and unfortunately he holds onto it too long. Gillott charged with the foul. So that is his first and team first. And so David Peters now going to the line, shooting two. And he misses that. When these teams first met, January 7th, the Wildcats were shooting miserably from the free throw line. They have improved since then. And of course, coming down the stretch Saturday, Patrick Hopkins was 100% from the free throw line. Gillott, he gets that basket, and finally, after a minute and a half, we finally have a score, 2-0.
Gillott, one of those guys who can go inside out, really dangerous on the offensive end.
Widener for three, and he's good. One of the other differences between the Wildcat team when we first played them in January is Patrick Hopkins was the leading scorer, and Jordan Widener in the last month has really come on strong.
Oh, yeah.
And he now is the leading scorer with a little over 14 points a game. Patrick Hopkins close to that, but in the 13-point range. Widener again for three, and he's automatic here tonight.
Oh, he is not bashful from behind the tray line. Two quick ones for Jordan Widener.
When we last saw the Wildcats a week ago here at home against Taylor, this is one of the things that we were missing is some decent outside shooting. Yeah. And of course, Taylor was just shooting like crazy.
The exact opposite. They were hitting everything. The Wildcats can get going, work this around. They're pretty dangerous. A lot of weapons when they work it around the perimeter.
Pratt getting that turnover for the Maple Leafs. Still a lot of sloppy play on both teams. We've seen about 3 to 4 turnovers for each team. Aaron Martin missing, but has a nice job of kicking the ball out so that the Wildcats get the rebound. We have seen all season the Wildcats getting off to a really strong start. And Patrick Hopkins on the inside. Nice strong move to the hoop, and he gets it.
Really no one to stop Hopkins today. They have Betcher, who's 6'9", but if Hopkins really has a size advantage down low. If he lowers his shoulder, he's going to be hard to stop.
Betcher out towards the free throw line, inside to Martin, and Martin gets the basket. We're seeing on the offensive end, almost every possession, the Wildcats are trying to get it to the inside, and they're just not.
Almost too quickly.
They're not getting good passes, and they're not surprising anybody. In fact, really, about the last month of this season, we've seen every team that comes in here knows exactly that we're going into Hopkins, and they're doubling and triple teaming him sometime. So it's kind of nice to see Jordan Widener hitting 2 3-pointers from the outside. Has the potential, and here's another three, and he gets it.
Wow. That's 3 for 3 for the sophomore. He's feeling it here tonight.
One would hope they would start to move the defensive pressure to the outside to stop Widener and open up the inside lane, but that hasn't happened as of yet.
I think Hopkins is saying, thank you very much. I don't have to do all the scoring right away.
That's right. Cody Chandler now on the outside, guarded by Taylor Schoen, who has come in for the Wildcats. DJ Bettinger also in. And number 42, Sean Day, who had 14 points on Saturday against the Wildcats. He goes on the inside and gets fouled. He's fouled by number 13, DJ. That has really helped because Goshen is automatically double teaming and triple teaming Patrick Hopkins. Officials right now are just the reason why we're not getting this game. They're at the scorer's table conferring with the official scorer to double check something related to the players checking in, whether or not things have been entered into the book correctly. And so now they're calling over the head coach for Goshen, Gary Chupp, and he is talking with the officials. Meanwhile, Coach Tonagel down there at his bench with his players, and he's now starting to turn his attention towards what's going on at the scorer's table. Meanwhile, the Wildcats have gone out, and the Maple Leafs are slowly headed out that direction as well. When we get play going, Sean Day will be going to the free throw line. He was fouled by DJ Bettinger, who is in the game for the Wildcats. He will get 2 shots. The officials are still conferring with head coach Chupp. So it would appear something hasn't quite been entered into the scorebook correctly. You know, Chase, I don't think most people realize that if you don't get your starting lineup in by a certain time, the game can begin with a technical foul.
Right,
and so there are rules that govern what happens in the book. And as strange as it is to start a game with a technical foul, I have seen it.
Or if not everyone's on the roster correctly, or
that's right.
Even if sometimes if their numbers aren't there, it's more that goes into it than you might think.
So the refs are still conferring. They're away from the scorer's table, and now they're just making sure they're all on the same page.
So it looks like there might be a technical foul.
Looks like there is a technical foul. Okay, and that's what it was. There was a player not in the scorebook, so Jordan Widener will go to the free throw line and shoot a technical for the Wildcats. He gets to shoot 2. And so obviously not the way you really want to begin a game.
You almost wonder who called that. If someone in the book just recognized it when someone tried to sub in, it must have been.
It must have been that
one substitution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So that was a technical foul assessed against Goshen. And now we get back to action of where we left off at the timeout. So Sean Day going to the line and shooting 2. And he misses the first. Also just kind of, it's got to throw off things just a little bit. Here's a replay of what got him to the line. And he misses the second. Taylor Schoen in his job of enforcer all season. Kind of sacrifice life and limb. The refs are going to call jump ball. And the possession arrow is in favor of the Wildcats because of the fact that the Maple Leafs won the tip-off. So all that effort, if you're Goshen, you got to be frustrated because they came down there, had a nice opportunity for two shots. Instead, they lose 2 points, as well as lose possession. So Wildcats unable to do anything. And now, once again, another turnover, and Derek Troyer settling down and bringing the ball up for the Wildcats.
Interesting start to this game, Mark. We've seen a lot of back and forth, some calls. It's just not your normal start 5 minutes into this game.
Let's hope that it hasn't ruined or slowed down some of the rhythm that the Wildcats, especially Jordan Widener, had. As he is, I don't think he's missed a basket. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line and 3 for 3 from the three-point line. We're down to 5 seconds. Schoen with a shot along the baseline. Just a little long. He misses it, and now come the Maple Leafs. Well, and I can see part of the problem. We have a number 21 out there who's not even on our roster, so I suspect that is part of the issue here. And another missed basket by Day. And here come the Wildcats. Plenty of opportunities to put this lead up big early.
They've had those because they've boxed out and limited those second chance opportunities for the Maple Leafs. Great job on the board so far.
And now Parker Stauffer wide open. He gets fouled, unable to convert. So Matthew Martin, number 15, he is charged with the foul. That is his first, team second. And Parker Stauffer will go to the line, and he will be shooting 2.
It almost seems like some of these players are almost fatigued out there, just kind of in the funk of some. It's hard to explain. Maybe not tired, but just, I don't know. They just played each other not too long ago on Saturday and feeling out this first round of the MCC tournament. But like we said in the pregame, this is do or die for Goshen. They're 8th seeded in this tournament, so obviously they have to win to be able to get a national bid.
By winning the MCC, the Wildcats have already gotten an automatic bid to the NAIA tournament. So to a certain extent, there's not a whole lot of pressure for them. They're in the, they lose tonight, they're out of the MCC, but they've got more life in them. However, you don't want to go into the national tournament not even doing well in your own tournament.
It's a matter of how high a seed you're going to get to if we can cap off this MCC tournament.
Mike Betcher with the shot and the goal for the Maple Leafs. Jordan Widener pulling up. That's just a little long, bounces back. Maple Leafs get the rebound. And Pratt missing the shot, pulled down by Stauffer. A lot of back and forth, not a lot of real good running of offense for either team. And Parker Stauffer with a nice reverse layup.
Not doing anything fancy. Pound it down into Parker Stauffer or kick it out to Jordan Widener. Widener's only missed 1 shot here tonight.
So it's an 8-point lead, 16-8. Goshen now trying to muscle on the inside. Turnaround jumper, good. So here's DJ Bettinger getting the offense set up. Parker Stauffer on the outside. He's moving now into the inside. Jordan Widener still in. Stauffer with the ball, making the move. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound by Schoen. He misses it. Off balance shot. Not the best shot by Schoen, but Pratt getting things set back up for the Leafs. Martin now back in for the Leafs. And Cody Chandler, their leading scorer, who really hasn't, that may be his first shot of the evening. 3-point attempt, in and out, no good. Rebound by Martin. And Pratt now getting things set back up. Cody Chandler contemplating, tipped away by Widener, pulled down though, however, by Betcher. And there's a foul committed by DJ Bettinger. That is his second, team second. In the 2 times these 2 teams have played, the Wildcats have held the Maple Leafs to 18% from the 3-point range. The rest of the time, they're in the top 35 among NAIA schools.
It's interesting.
So the Wildcats have done a great job on defense, shutting down the 3-point shot.
Yeah. They just play straight up man, too. Nothing too fancy either way on both ends of the floor. The Wildcats just playing basic basketball, man-to-man on defense and pounding it down inside, usually 1 or 2 passes. Like we said, they haven't had a whole lot of rotation and play calling on the half-court set. We've got to see a little different set here with Tyler Greathouse now in the lineup.
We haven't seen Aaron Martin now making the basket. It counts, and he got fouled. Good to see Aaron getting points early. That foul charge, number 44, Mike Betcher. That is his first, team third. We've been talking about the fact that over the last 4 to 5 games, Martin has become more aggressive on the inside, and I think that has really paid off. That's obviously not his preferred game. He's got the height, though, that he shouldn't have any problem on the inside. Hopkins now back in. He gets the ball stripped by Gillott. Gillott running. Oh, this isn't Gillott. I'm sorry. This is Kyle Davis, number 24. And Davis is down. He's grabbing his ankle.
Wildcat foul on David Peters.
Peters was charged with the foul. That is his first. So Kyle Davis still down. And it looks now like we've got some Saturday afternoon and apparently played just as well Saturday as they did here last Tuesday night. And they're down early, but plenty of time left in that game.
Yeah, that game on Saturday was at Taylor. This one's at Grace.
Yes,
so
that's right.
That might be one of the factors as well, playing up at Winona Lake. It's a tough place to play. Nice arena there. And if they can fill that one up, it's a pretty tough environment to get a W. But, yeah, like you said, a lot of time left in that game.
So Mike Betcher going to the line. We have had a lot of game stoppage so far in this game. And Betcher makes the first free throw. So obviously you have tuned in to watch the action and not hear us talk. So let's hope we don't get too many more stopping of the action here. And however, we're almost halfway through this first half. Patrick Hopkins pulling down that rebound. David Peters back in. And Patrick Hopkins taking it all the way in. Nice layup.
Nice use of the left hand. 4 points now for the junior. Hopkins around the basket so tough because he can go off glass, both hands, turnaround jumper, one of those players that can do it all.
And we're going to get a foul on Tyler Greathouse. We have not, over about the last month and a half, when we've been in the heart of the MCC season, we really haven't seen here at home Tyler Greathouse getting a whole lot of action. So it's nice to see him. I guess he got some good time on Saturday.
On Saturday he did.
And now he's getting some good time here this evening. So good to see the young freshman in.
He came out with 7 points in the first half on Saturday. I believe he finished with about 10 or 11. So great showing. He matches up well with this team, I think, as well, because Goshen lacks some size, and he really kind of provides a mismatch for the Wildcats.
Tyler Hall giving it off to Martin, who shoots three, and it's good. So Aaron Martin now back in for the Wildcats. He tosses over to David Peters as the Wildcats get their offense rolling on this side of the court. David Peters trying to work the ball in, not getting anywhere. Derek Troyer also getting an opportunity. Good defense on the part of the Maple Leafs. However, Troyer just threads his way through, has a good look at the basket, but it just doesn't drop. Hall now driving again. He misses, and it's rebounded by Martin. Here comes Troyer. Tosses over to David Peters to Hopkins, and Hopkins is going to get it and get fouled.
Talk about threading the needle there. Derek Troyer finds David Peters, who then just kind of passes it off to Patrick Hopkins. Great teamwork there from the two seniors, and then the junior cleans it up.
So that foul called on number 42, Sean Day. That is his first, team fourth. Both teams at 4 team fouls. Widener now coming in for David Peters. I was afraid there that when Patrick got the ball that he may have just taken one step too many, but he didn't. And he comes away with a 3-point play. And now that lead is 8.
So combined, Hopkins and Widener have 18 of the Wildcats' 23 points right now.
Pratt trying to get on the inside. He kicks it outside. And we got a travel on number 21. We still don't have his name, so we'll try to get that for you. He is the missing player.
He's the mystery man
from our roster.
Cost him a couple points too, apparently, as far as we can see.
So Greathouse getting ready to bring the ball in for the Wildcats. He tosses it into Troyer, and Troyer is taking his time up the court. And unlike many of the other possessions where there was a certain franticness, the Wildcats taking their time on this possession. Into Patrick Hopkins. He gets around those two defenders, gets the basket. They can do that all day long, and Patrick Hopkins will take advantage of that.
And spread the floor, get Patrick wide open underneath, and he can do some damage under there. Put on the floor, more importantly, just put it straight up.
Troyer, nice drive to the basket. It's blocked by number 42, Sean Day. Good defense on the part of the Wildcats. I don't think we've talked enough this season about the Wildcat defense. I mean, we've mentioned it, but really the bottom line is I think this team is more of a defensive team than an offensive team.
And they do it in a way that you don't obviously see it a whole lot. It's just quietly get the job done.
Beautiful pass by Hopkins inside to Troyer. And Coach Chupp of Maple Leafs has said, that's enough. Let's
make it a game in the second half.
Yeah, we'll talk more about this in the second half, but in Saturday's game, there were two big runs. Goshen went on a 7-0 run and then a 10-2 run. That's what brought them back into the game. And the refs just stopped action because there was something on the floor. And, of course, we've already seen one player injured tonight. Not necessarily because of anything on the floor, but you don't want to have anything on the floor to contribute to that. Hall guarded closely by Troyer. He kicks it out to Gillott. Tyler Greathouse providing a little bit of interference for Gillott as he's coming around to the right-hand side. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Gillott for three. He misses. Hall is going to be charged with pushing and trying to get that rebound.
He might have been a little too wide open. The referee saw him there. The little guy, only 6'1". I guess he's got some pretty decent height, but still, he was on the backside wide open.
So that's his first foul, the 5th team foul. So we're now in the we're getting close to the bonus. Patrick Hopkins on the inside. Probably rushed that shot just a little bit. The foul is called against number 2, Cody Chandler. Chandler, the freshman, is their leading scorer, but yet he's got nothing so far this evening. So we've done a great job of keeping the ball out of his hands, or at least providing him with good looks.
Yeah, he really hasn't shot the ball like we talked about
right.
a whole lot, and only 2 points on the floor right now for Goshen, 15 for the game, but these players out there have only scored 2 combined. So not a whole lot of offensive threat out there right now.
And you can see that just was a defensive mismatch. The big Patrick Hopkins coming on the inside, and really not much Chandler could do except to foul. Now he shoots, and finally he gets his first 2 points of the game.
He heard us over here, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So 10 points is the difference. 27-17, 8:05 remaining in the game, or in the first half rather. Derek Troyer coming down, gets the ball over to Vandewater, who is now in for the Wildcats. Tyler Greathouse still seeing some good playing time. Vandewater with a shot, nice look, just a little short. And back come the Maple Leafs. Gillott over on the right-hand side, guarded by Widener. Widener coming around off the pick. And we got an air ball by Gillott. And he ends up getting the ball back. It's a great example of following the ball. So now number 20, Tyler Hall, getting things set up. 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Hall with a 3-point attempt leaves it short. And the Maple Leafs rebound, number 33, Matt Glick. Gillott now with a nice feed to him, and he gets the basket.
A lot of times those long shots get long rebounds. The Wildcats got caught off guard there with 2 of those. Third opportunity, finally make them pay.
Greathouse with the shot. It's no good. So all of a sudden a little bit of a run, a 4-0 run, and another turnover. Widener coming down. It's a one-on-one. He goes up. He gets fouled. Now an 8-point lead. Just a little bit ago they had a 12-point lead, but now Jordan Widener going to the line shooting 2. He'll have the opportunity to put it back up 10. And he makes the first. Here's a replay to show you what happened. He had a one-on-one situation. He drove, and then number 42, Sean Day, trailing the play, fouled. Widener missing the second, and it's rebound by Glick. So Pratt bringing the ball up. Derek Troyer guarding him. Ball goes inside to Glick, but not the best. The pass was all right. Glick couldn't hold on to it. The pass coming from Betcher. There's going to be a foul on that play. And committed by Jordan Widener. That is his first, team 5th. Goshen now with 17 fouls, so we are in the bonus situation. Chandler getting the ball into Gillott. He gets the ball stripped as he tries to go up. Glick puts it down, gets it back to Gillott.
Great defense by Aaron Martin. Might have looked like a foul, but he just had position on his defender.
So Pratt getting things set back up. 15 seconds on the shot clock, and Glick shoots. Ball is bounced around. Chandler almost gets he ends up with the rebound, but he touches it twice. He's thinking about a three, but he tosses over, and they get a fresh 35, and now they're getting things set up again. And it looks like Aaron Martin's going to be charged with the block there. So that's Aaron's first, the team's sixth. Matthew Martin, number 15 for the Maple Leafs. He checks in, and Glick takes a seat. Patrick Hopkins, speaking of fouls, was in foul trouble early through Saturday. He only played about 21 minutes of the game.
Had 21 points in 19 minutes, I believe. So very efficient player.
Chandler scoring 2, so he now has 4 points on the afternoon, or evening rather. Vandewater inside to Parker Stauffer. He bounces it off the glass. Aaron Martin with the rebound and the put in.
Right place, right time for Aaron Martin. Like he said, a lot more inside game for him this season that we've seen, especially in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I'm liking that trend quite a bit. Matthew Martin with a nice pass to him and a basket.
Martin's too good of a player to be, just a three-point specialist. He's got a nice all-around game if he can utilize it.
And he's got good height. I mean, he's the perfect height for a forward, and he can come on the inside. And he's listed as a guard, but he really
6'5" guard.
But he really plays more of a forward kind of position.
Of course, with George Jones out, we've seen a little bit of shuffle in the lineup with David Peters starting, and all three freshmen have got significant playing time, and they've stepped up huge. I think going into the postseason here, obviously we're in the MCC now, but even into Branson, these three freshmen are going to be huge in the success of this team.
So Widener making the first of a one-on-one, so he gets a second shot. Widener having absolutely a tremendous first half here. 13 points in the evening. His average is a little over 14 per game, so he's just a point away from his average. So he's having a great, of course, those 13 points, 9 of which were the result of being 3 for 3 from three-point range.
And by the first 5 minutes, he drained 3 of them.
Pratt now bringing things down. Inside to Betcher. He gets a nice pass, nice basket, and Widener will pick up the foul. So that's Widener's second, 7th team foul. So now the Maple Leafs are in the bonus situation. So that, however, he will shoot just one since he made the basket that he shot. Has an opportunity, Betcher does, to make a three-point play here. And he does it, 31-26. So whereas the lead was as many as 12, they have slowly come back. They're down now only by 5. Parker Stauffer on the inside, Betcher guarding him. He leaves it short. Rebound, however, Martin goes up, has a nice attempt. He gets fouled, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
Nice job of going up strong, too. A lot of times we see players that aren't traditionally post players go in, kind of half sideways or just not balanced with the shoulders squared up. But Aaron Martin, 2 times now, consecutive possessions underneath. Nice job, just can't knock down that free throw, though.
He leaves it short. You can see the replay. Aaron out towards the top. He sees an opportunity, steps inside. It's easy to second guess. I almost wonder if he had taken one step further, gotten in closer to the basket, if he might not have had a better shot. But he's at the free throw line shooting his second. He misses that as well. So we come out of the possession with nothing and a 5-point lead with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Maple Leafs getting their offense all set up. Pratt on the left-hand side. And Gillot with a 3-point attempt. No good. Martin goes up big, has the ball batted away. Now Chandler drives inside, and he gets the basket.
Nice hustle play there by Aaron Martin, and just unlucky, really. On the outlet pass, he got deflected and then made him pay. There's Chandler now. Nice little showing. He now has 6 points. Started slow, but picking up.
Zach Vandewater, number 32 in the game for the Wildcats. Derek Troyer getting a nice step on everybody, however, misses that layup.
Back into the Wildcats, number 33, Patrick Hopkins.
Patrick Hopkins now checking back in for the Wildcats. The shot clock resets, 35 seconds, and Troyer now trying to get the ball inbounds. Looking for Taylor Schoen, who's on the inside. He goes up strong, it bounces around, he gets the rebound. He goes up again and gets fouled. And that foul is called on Casey Pratt, number 13. That's his first.
I think if Coach Tonigo had to tell you which is the toughest player on this team, I'm pretty sure Taylor Schoen would be right up there, first or second on the team. Just one of those guys that does the little things correctly. Even when you look at him, I mean, he's got nice size. He's 6'4", but
watch the way he gets that rebound, man.
Yeah,
he just goes up strong, and he hit some people as he was going in there, but that's what happens. Unfortunately, we're not doing too well on free throws here in the last couple of possessions, but we get the rebound, and now they're getting Derek Troyer getting things set back up. Patrick Hopkins in, and obviously you could see Patrick Hopkins was moving to the inside, and that's where Derek Troyer was sending the ball. Got kicked out of bounds, 25 seconds remaining in the shot clock, and Derek Troyer will be inbounding the ball. Into Patrick Hopkins. He keeps dribbling, putting it on the floor. He's getting double teamed. He tosses over to David Peters, who thought about pulling the three, but they keep moving around and getting things set back up. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Patrick Hopkins goes in strong. He leaves it short. And it's a 3-point game with the opportunity now to tie this game up. So we talked about it just a few minutes ago, but Goshen has gone on a run.
Yep, we knew it would come.
And we've seen it all season. The Wildcats have gone through periods where they just cannot make the ball drop, and they allow the other team to slowly get back into this contest. Foul called on number 12, Taylor Schoen. That's his first. Teammate. So he will go to the line, number 21, our mystery player, shooting a one-on-one. And he makes the first free throw. So he will get a second opportunity. That lead now for the Wildcats has shrunk to 2. And it is just simply 1. So we've got 2:42 remaining in this half. It is time for the Wildcats to kind of put on a little run of their own. The previous 2 meetings, the Wildcats have had an 8-point halftime lead. Patrick Hopkins just was fouled by number 2, Cody Chandler. That is his second foul on the evening.
It just seems like with this team, it doesn't take much for the lead to evaporate within minutes. I mean, we've seen that so many times this season. The Wildcats have possessed a nice lead, and they've come back from some deficits as well, pretty large deficits, but one of those teams that, I don't know, turnovers just here and there, and the other team gets in transition, gets some easy buckets, and IWU not knocking down free throws the last couple attempts down the floor, and that's got to cost you.
I was just going to compliment Patrick Hopkins on how his free throw shooting has improved, and then he went 1 for 2 from the line. However, the bottom line is Hopkins has really done much better as the season has progressed. Free throw shooting still not the strength of the Wildcats, and Matthew Martin with a 3-point shot. The lead now goes to the Maple Leafs, 33-32. The end of the game, it certainly wouldn't hurt for the Wildcats to kick into that kind of mode here as well.
The Maple Leafs know it's coming. It's just a matter of being able to stop them, and they haven't been able to do so in their first 2 meetings.
Derek Troyer on the right-hand side wanting to get it to Hopkins. He's not open. Vandewater in. He gets it to Hopkins. Troyer, 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Vandewater driving. He gets on the inside. Reverse layup, misses. Schoen with the rebound. He goes up, misses. Ball's bouncing around. Peters knocks it out, and now here comes Casey Pratt. One-on-one with Hopkins. Matthew Martin, though, gets the ball. He drives in, misses, and Derek Troyer comes up with it. Minute 20 remaining in the game. Troyer giving the inside to Hopkins, and he is fouled by number 21.
Seems like there's a lid on the rim there for IWU the last couple possessions. Nice move by Vandewater, but he did everything but have the basket drop. And like I said, a lot of more sloppy play. Back and forth we go. But just a minute 19. See if the Wildcats can settle down here and get a decent lead going into halftime if Hopkins can make these free throws.
We first of all need to get the lead back or tie it, which we still haven't done. You can see this replay of this last play. Derek Troyer going on the inside. Nice, just right around the body pass. Patrick Hopkins misses the second. So I'll tell you, in these last 5 to 6 minutes, we have gone very cold. Good tip on defense, and here come the Wildcats again with an opportunity to go back up on top. Troyer now coming around. He's got an open lane. He drives. He holds on to it too long. Can't get it out of his hands. Taylor Schoen, finally, the basket drops.
A little bit of a drought there for IWU. Just couldn't get anything to fall. Finally regained the lead. First 2 points for Schoen.
So it's a two-possession game. And number 21, Small, we believe his last name is.
Mr. Rohrbach helps out here on the PA announcer.
He has
Small.
come into this game, and he has scored 7. So there's about a 3-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. So the Wildcats appear to be content to work that down, and there's going to be a foul on the inside against number 15, Matthew Martin. That is his second, and because we're in the double bonus, Patrick Hopkins will now go to the line, shooting 2.
And we've seen this with every MCC team. Like it seems, Mark, that just haven't found an answer to Patrick Hopkins underneath as far as the size. I mean, some teams have limited his points and got him into foul trouble like they did last Saturday. He had 4 fouls most of that game, at least in the second half, and in foul trouble most of it. But just a hard matchup, especially in this conference. Possesses size, pretty agile underneath the basket. But, hey, there's always one thing that you're not the greatest at, and it's free throws. Like we said, he's improved, but, it's hard for a big man to be consistent.
Patrick Hopkins, 6'7", 230 pounds, so a little bit of a offensive lineman type, and not quite as big, but for basketball, we'll consider him an offensive lineman. Well, Patrick unfortunately misses both free throws, and it is a 1-point game. Opportunity to go up 3. The ball is bounced around. Troyer comes down with it. There's less than 3 seconds. He launches one, and always get the feeling this team ought to be way out in front. They have these times where it would not be unthinkable for them to get beat in a first round of a tournament.
I think maybe Coach Schonagle took them over to intramural gyms and had them shoot about 53 free throws apiece at halftime because they're going to need that here in the second half.
Well, Matthew Martin starts off with a nice getting inside, and the lead now is 3 for the Maple Leafs. First offensive possession for the Wildcats. Widener standing on the outside. Everybody's just kind of standing around. We need better ball movement if they're going to get this ball on the inside or wherever they're going to get it to get those points that they need. David Peters kicking it out to Widener. Widener pulls up. Nice looking shot. No good. Rebound by Betcher, and here comes Pratt. He fires it forward. Troyer gets his hand on it. Widener comes down with it, and here come the Wildcats again. Aaron Martin to the inside. Nice basket.
Under control is the junior. We've seen a lot of fast break transition offense for both teams. It's been sloppy for Goshen, but IWU doing a nice job for the most part. Take that to their advantage here for the second half. They're going to need it.
So Pratt getting things set up. Man-to-man, well, actually, it looked for a moment like man-to-man defense, but they kind of kicked out of it. Here comes David Peters, throws it, bounces it to Troyer, but he doesn't get a clean catch. Off to Aaron Martin for 3. He leaves it short. I think he knew that as soon as he let go of it. He went on the inside. And Martin getting fouled by Casey Pratt. And looks like a hand hit him, and Aaron Martin looks like he needs to just shake that off. That is Pratt's second foul. Team first here in the second half. Aaron Martin still kind of walking that off. He got whacked kind of in the nose-eye region.
It's going to be understandable that the Wildcats not going to knock down shots, time and again at a high rate, especially from the outside. Shots aren't going to drop sometimes. It's just the matter of basketball. But really have to make the most of the chances inside that they get. There's Aaron Martin following a shot. Nice job on that possession. But going into this postseason right now, I mean, you got to look for other things besides the pull-up jumpers a lot. You got to do the little things correctly in order to survive and advance, which they're in that mode right now.
All right, Aaron Martin making both free throws. You saw the replay. I didn't really see where Pratt hit him in the face, but he obviously did. Chandler on the inside. He has to get it up because of Hopkins. And the Wildcats come down with it, and they're coming down fast. However, Widener pulls back just to get things set up. Gillott tried to steal that from Martin. Martin kicks it into the inside to Peters, who drives inside, gives it to Patrick Hopkins. He's got no room. He drives around Betcher, and a nice layup.
Great positioning by Hopkins there. Caught it on the block, able to position his body, up and in for 2 off glass.
Another missed shot by the Maple Leafs. Here comes David Peters with the ball, and the Wildcats are looking much, much better here in the early going. With a 3-point lead now, they get the ball in the inside of Hopkins, who just has a nice wide-open lane.
Nice left hand for Hopkins. He now has 14. Nice little run by the Wildcats, putting their lead to 5.
Eliminated by the 8th seed and go out of the tournament right off the bat. That makes for a long week and a half before the tournament starts. Actually, it's more like 2.5 weeks, not a week and a half, 2.5 weeks.
If anything, they don't want to practice for that long without playing, I wouldn't think.
Betcher on the inside, nice pass to him and a nice layup. So the Maple Leafs aren't dead yet. After that timeout with a nice offensive possession. Derek Troyer driving on the inside on Chandler. He kicks it out to Martin. Jordan Widener now. David Peters wide open. He decides to drive, though, and he loses handle of the ball, and here comes Pratt for the Maple Leafs. Matthew Martin, a long three-pointer. Patrick Hopkins gets the rebound, dishes it off to David Peters. Over to Widener. He goes for 3. Yes! Yeah, that's the way to do it, Jordan Widener.
4th 3 of the night for the sophomore. Boy, he squares his shoulders. He's tough to beat behind that tray line.
Gillott goes up, and he gets fouled by Patrick Hopkins. That's Patrick's first foul on the night. He's not too happy with himself for committing that foul, but one foul is not bad in comparison to what happened on Saturday.
Had that slow start in the second half mark, and here in the first 4 minutes or so, we kind of had a run and gun shots about every 10 seconds or so on either end of the floor.
Gillott going up, and unfortunately Patrick Hopkins just got up in the air, lost his balance, and that's going to result in a foul almost every time. So Gillott makes both. It's still a 4-point game, 45-41, 16:40 remaining in the game. Wouldn't mind seeing Widener take a few more threes. He's been hot from that range tonight.
I like his chances from beyond there.
Betcher looks like he is going to be charged with the foul. That is his 3rd, so we have our first player of the evening with some kind of foul difficulty. So number 42, Sean Day, will come in, and Betcher will take a seat now with 3 fouls in the evening. Troyer wanting to get the ball in. He gets it out to David Peters. Over to Troyer. He drives the inside to Patrick Hopkins. Hopkins not able to hold on to it, and he is called for traveling.
Not sure that Coach Schonagle's got to like that foul. It seems like it was kind of almost a jump ball, scramble for the ball, and they must have said Patrick had possession and dragged his feet.
Nice tip by Aaron Martin. He gets it back. David Peters now has it. Jordan Widener, but Gillott is on him. So now we're setting things back up. Gillott goes for the ball. David Peters gets a step on him. Martin decides to hold on to it.
Yep.
And Aaron Martin got called for the walk. That was unfortunate. Looked like he wanted to take the shot, and then he decided to drive, and unfortunately his body motion just carried him along.
It just takes 1 second of hesitation, and the Wildcats, we've seen that a couple times on the offensive trips down the floor. Just one player, kick out, and a lot of good inside-out game in that first half, but you got to connect on the shots and be really confident in where you're going with the ball.
So Casey Pratt now bringing it down. He kicks it over to Gillott. Gillott moves on the inside. He misses the pass. Hopkins goes up. There's a big scrum. And what are the refs going to call it? Are they going to say jump ball?
See Hopkins getting frustrated out there, going for that loose ball. It's getting a little tense out there for these big guys underneath.
Better. However, it promises to be quite the battle all the way to the end of this game. So we never really did see an official's call, but it looks like the Wildcats got the ball because here they are. DJ Bettinger in, Taylor Schoen in. Troyer getting a nice step on Gillott. Widener for three, and it is good.
Number 5. 19 points now for Widener.
So Cody Chandler now driving the ball around, trying to get things running for the Maple Leafs. Chandler, long three-pointer, off and short. And the Maple Leafs will retain possession. Looks like they reset that shot clock.
Number 24, Parker Stauffer.
Parker Stauffer now in for the Wildcats, letting Patrick Hopkins take a breather. Gillott bringing the ball in. He gets it way out to Casey Pratt. A little surprised that Cody Chandler took such a long three-pointer.
They haven't hesitated on the offensive end. They got a lot of quick shots pulling up from outside mostly.
Casey Pratt for three. It bounces in and out, and DJ Bettinger with the rebound. So the Wildcats now, Bettinger decides to hold on to it. He takes a shot, not making it. And Matthew Martin, he gets banged in the nose, but he comes down with it. Cody Chandler then going up. He gets fouled, and the basket does not drop. He is fouled by number 12, Taylor Schoen. That is his second, and that is the team's second.
Last couple of possessions, who's ever had the ball taking up the court's got the shot. Not a whole lot of ball rotation around the perimeter, and both these teams need that, I think, and their coaches are stressing that. It's just, players see the parting of the sea, so to speak. They see an open shot, they're going to take it. Chandler, obviously, it's pretty warranted in their leading scorer, but still, he's struggled at times here. Only 6 points, has not scored here in the second.
Number 21, Garner Small, now checking in for the Maple Leafs. Chandler making his second, so 1 for 2 there from the free throw line. And Jordan Widener now taking the ball, handing back to Derek Troyer to bring this ball up. 6-point lead for the Wildcats.
Backside, Jeff.
Jordan Widener now at the top of the key, driving to the left-hand side. Troyer trying to get the space on Gillott, doesn't quite do it. Out back to Widener with 12 seconds remaining in the shot clock. Now we're under 10. Troyer goes. Nice layup. Ooh. Unfortunately, it just doesn't fall. So Casey Pratt driving on the inside, gives it back to Small. Cody Chandler guarded closely by Schoen.
Wildcats staying into this man-to-man. It's been effective so far. They really haven't got anything inside.
Cody Chandler from the baseline, no good. And rebounded by the Wildcats. DJ Bettinger bringing it down on the left-hand side. Schoen has come in this game tonight, done a really nice job of being that defensive enforcer that they've needed. You don't get a lot of scoring from him, and just as I say that, of course he misses the shot. And Casey Pratt comes up with it. Chandler dishes off to Small, who converts.
4-point differential there. Schoen missing the wide open left-handed layup. On the other end, Small makes him pay.
It's really unfortunate on that last possession. Taylor Schoen left wide open. Really an easy layup. Unable to convert. And this is starting to feel a little bit like the first half, where all of a sudden the Wildcats are not getting things to drop, and the Maple Leafs are starting to come back. Parker Stauffer on the inside leaves it short, bouncing around, and the Maple Leafs come up with it. So Casey Pratt bringing the ball up now, 4-point difference. He drives in on Bettinger. They're going to turnover. So we get some of the couple of the starters in, Martin and Hopkins, and along with them comes Zach Vandewater. So Martin will inbound the ball. You can see that score. Grace looks like they are going to come away with a first-round victory over Taylor.
IWU will play the winner of this St. Francis and Huntington game. They're tied up. We've got quite a battle going on. I believe that one's at St. Francis.
Vandewater kicking the ball over to Bettinger. Once again, we're getting a little fairly good ball movement, but not much happening on the inside. And we're now down to 7 seconds on the shot clock. Widener goes up, and we get nothing in that possession. Cody Chandler. Number 20, Tyler Hall, now getting things set back up. Vandewater guarding him closely. Small out on the right-hand side. He tries to drive in on Patrick Hopkins. Doesn't get anywhere. Back out to Chandler. Glick back in the game. There's now 8 seconds on the shot clock. Shot is no good. Vandewater comes up with the rebound. Vandewater looks like he was going to drive to the hoop, but he pulls off. Hopkins now, long shot, and it is an air ball.
We've seen him knock down a couple of those shots last week against.
Half on defensive rebounds, doing a little bit better. But really, the bottom line is it comes down to the basics.
Yep. Seems to elude us a lot of times. Just
really does.
Fundamentals.
Aaron Martin tipping away the pass from number 21, Garner Small. Hill inbounds the ball. And Tyler Hall, guarded closely by Bettinger, is coming up, and he gets it over the half-court line. Vandewater now picks him up. Bettinger, a little bit of a mismatch with Small, but now they've switched players, and we're back to the matchups that need to be. And so Matthew Martin driving to the lane. He gets the basket. However, they're going to call off that basket and say that he charged. So he is called with offensive charge. That'll be his third foul, so that is the second player for the Maple Leafs with 3 fouls.
That's a big call too, Mark. I think that's one of those plays that could be a momentum swinger either way. That could have been a 2-point game. IWU's going the other way can stretch it to 6 or 7. We got about 10 minutes left in this game. We'll keep our eye on that one because that's definitely big going here the next 10 minutes.
This is around the time in the game on Saturday where the Wildcats kind of blew their lead. They had a 12-point lead. Aaron Martin for 3. Yes, he drops it.
There you go. See, that's huge. IWU now up 7. Could have been a 2-point game about 10 seconds ago. Now they got to step up on the defensive end.
Tyler Hall wanting to shoot. He changes his mind. At that point, however, his teammates had all turned their attention to the basket. So it's a turnover, and Aaron Martin will inbound the ball for the Wildcats. There's another really big opportunity, Chase, to just increase this lead even more.
When they're vulnerable, knock them down and keep on going for the Wildcats. They're going to need everything that they give them.
So Derek Troyer now bringing things around to the center. DJ Bettinger. Aaron Martin looking like he had an open lane for a moment. He kicks it back out. 15 seconds on the shot clock into Patrick Hopkins. He drives, gets the position. Oh, and he gets clobbered. And that's going to be a big foul because number 44, Betcher, is back in with 3 fouls.
Oh,
they're calling it on Chandler, which is his third foul.
Okay.
So now we got 3 Maple Leafs with 3 fouls. Betcher back in. If we get a chance to see a replay, I will trust the refs. But boy, I'll tell you, Betcher looked to be all over him. Here comes the replay. He goes in. Well, you can take your pick on that one.
Yeah, simultaneous.
Yes, it was.
Clobbering, like you said. It was definitely a foul. Nice job by Patrick there. Nice 8-point lead, the biggest of this half.
Small kicking it back out to Hall. Betcher back to Hall. Maple Leafs having good ball rotation here in this second half. Though at times they kind of stand there like they did just for a moment. Ball coming into Betcher, and that foul is going to be called on Patrick Hopkins. That is his second, team third.
Patrick's got a lot of calls on the offensive end for him, so you better watch the refs. They're going to even it up a little bit, I think.
The ball comes inbounds to Chandler, and he just puts it right back up and in, and so that drops. 2-point basket. Go inside to Hopkins. He keeps pushing in against Betcher, and I think this time the foul will be called on Betcher. And it is. That is his fourth. So 9:27 remaining in this game. You don't want your starting center to be on the bench with 4 fouls. So I suspect he's going to be gone from the game. We won't see him till about the somewhere between the 4 to 2 minute mark left in this game.
I don't think you can afford to have him out too long. You see Sean Day coming in here, 6'6", providing some height as well as Jalot back out there. Here's the foul. They said they caught him right in the head. Yep. Initially had the hands straight up, did a nice job of defending, but when he came back down, popped him right in the head. The outside referee actually called that. The inside one didn't, so kind of interesting what he saw from his perspective.
So Patrick Hopkins with his second shot, and it just seems like Patrick is shooting around 50% from the free throw line tonight. Hall trying to get things going. Jalot back in the game, guarded by Vandewater. Now Aaron Martin picks him up. Small trying to get the ball into Day, and it is stolen by Vandewater.
See the difference already with Betcher already out of the game and Day down underneath.
Vandewater driving, nice reverse layup. So here we are inside 10 minutes, and the Mark Perry, Chase Evans with you calling this first round MCC tournament action. The number 1 seed Wildcats against the number 8 seed Maple Leafs of Goshen College. You can see some of the other scores up there on the left-hand side of your screen. Hall with a 3-point attempt. It's good.
Tyler Hall, 3 points.
Nice use of the timeout there for Gary Chupp. Knocked down the shot on the other end, and they get a turnover. So 6-point game, a lot of time left here for the Goshen Maple Leafs.
This pattern is all too familiar here in this game. And as we talked about at the beginning of the game, Goshen has absolutely nothing to lose.
Yep.
They probably will not get an at-large bid. So the only way they're going to make it to the tournament is if they win this MCC tournament. Cody Chandler, number 2, charged with a foul. That is his 4th. Chandler, the leading scorer for the Maple Leafs in the last 6 games, he has averaged 22.3 points per game. Right now he's at 9 on the evening, and now on the bench with 4 fouls. So having an off night, as well as the Wildcats just doing a great job of defense on him. 8 minutes remaining in the game. Derek Troyer now bringing the ball up. At this point in the game, every possession is important. Patrick Hopkins on the outside, double teamed. He gets the ball over to Troyer. Troyer drives, he pulls up. Patrick Hopkins with the rebound, tries to get it to the outside. Vandewater gets it, and now we're resetting the offense. Derek Troyer lofting it over into Hopkins. He waits and just puts it up too hard. Vandewater with the rebound, he can't get it. And Jalot getting the ball for the Maple Leafs, and he gets boxed in, does a great job of bouncing the ball out of bounds off of the Wildcats. So here come the Maple Leafs.
I like that possession by the Wildcats, though. Didn't force it. Nice pass by Derek Troyer, getting in, and Patrick Hopkins pump fake, just not able to finish. I think I'll live with that one. You got to finish, though.
It just becomes frustrating because throughout this game we get these periods then of where we just don't score. Nothing drops. But we got another opportunity to push this lead up a little further. The ball is kicked out to Martin, almost thrown away a second time. Widener for 3, and he nails it.
Are you kidding me? 6 3-pointers for Jordan Widener. He got 22 points, folks. He is feeling it, putting his team on his back, now up 9.
I think Jordan needs to have the green light to do this all the time.
My
Small
goodness,
with the jump shot, he misses, and here comes Jordan Widener, and he loses control. And now another turnover. Boy, I got to tell you, Chase, this game has just been sloppy.
It's been uncharacteristically and just awkward at times. I mean, we've had some transition baskets from time to time, but just a lot of turnovers, a fast break. It's just careless. You think at this point of the season, postseason play, that these teams will be a little more. A lot of times that happens, though.
Into Patrick Hopkins. He puts it up too hard, which has been a problem here this evening. And he gets fouled. Number 13, Casey Pratt, is charged with the foul. That is his third. Just like that, we're into the bonus. That was the 7th team foul. So Patrick will go to the line shooting a one-on-one.
Kind of forget the all-time single-game record for three-pointers. I think it's 10 or 12.
Aaron Martin early in the season went on a run and was about the 6th or 7th three-pointer that he shot, and then he kind of stopped.
I think the late Caleb Dimick still holds that record.
Right.
Yeah, I think he had 12 in something like that, 10 or 12 in a game. It's just, I don't think it's hard to beat. But Jordan Widener, great job, 6 threes here this evening.
And Patrick Hopkins making both. Taylor's strong ending has come to an end. They are defeated by 23 points by Grace.
See if they can get an at-large bid. Doesn't look too great for them, but they've had some quality wins. It's just you have to win in postseason to get a bid to the Nationals.
So the Maple Leafs now setting things up, down by 11. Ball goes out of bounds off of the Wildcats. So Garner Small getting ready to inbound the ball, and he hands it off to Betcher, who's back in with 4 fouls. Matthew Martin drives. He gets it to Betcher. Betcher puts it up and in.
Mike Betcher, 2 points.
So Jordan Widener bringing the ball up for the Wildcats. Gillott guarding him. 5:40 remaining in this game. Derek Troyer thinking there for a moment. It looked like he had an open lane to the basket, but he backed off. Casey Pratt probably had position on him.
See Jordan Widener on the other side of the floor. His eyes are getting awful big. Say, give me the ball.
Yeah, he's wide open on the baseline. 8 seconds remaining in the shot clock. Troyer kicks it out to Vandewater for 3. I actually think he was hoping that Jordan would stay out there. Small with a turnaround jumper, no good. He gets his own rebound, still no good, and it's going to go off of Zach Vandewater. I think Derek Troyer saw Jordan Widener out there, and he decided to hold on to it, drive, and then kick it out. Vandewater was there, but Jordan Widener had moved.
You don't want to telegraph it either. They're going to be looking for Widener from the perimeter from here on out, and it's got to bode well for the Wildcats to the inside-out game with Hopkins to give him a little more breathing room as well.
Casey Pratt, now they got a full 35-second shot clock, so he's guarded closely by Troyer. He tries to get it in, once again goes off of Troyer's foot. Troyer doing a pretty good job on that. So the ball is inbounds. Small takes a three-pointer, rebounded by Derek Troyer. He brings it on down now. He kicks it over to Schoen. Schoen cannot get a basket to drop. His shot is blocked by Betcher. Gillott stumbling with it. He shoots it off balance. He gets the ball back. And out to Casey Pratt. Matthew Martin on the side. He'll take a 3. He doesn't get much off the ground with his three-pointers. Small, awkward shot. And the ball is going to go back to the Wildcats.
I think I can just see the shooting percentage just going down every trip down the floor. So many shots going up and percentage is going down, but fouled out now is Betcher. That's got to be huge going here on out. One of those players you can't really replace. They're going to have to put back in Sean Day. Actually, Sean Day's already out there, so they're going to bring someone else in.
So they opted to keep bringing Betcher in, even when he had 3, and then he got 4. And I didn't think we'd see him until around this point in the game, but he's come in and finally picked up his 5th foul. So shown because of the double bonus, or actually not the double bonus yet, just in the bonus, he's going to get a chance to shoot a one-on-one. And Taylor Schoen cannot get anything to drop this evening. He does have 2 points, but he's had many, many shots. Casey Pratt with a nice pull-up jumper. And the lead is now down to 7. We saw this in the first half, stolen by Pratt, and then Jalot with the basket, so it's time to call time. Coach Tonigal just looks beside himself.
My goodness, this is the danger zone right now. 4 minutes left, just a 5-point game.
Necessarily have anybody stepping up and filling in. It's going to hurt you.
Just the intangibles he brought to as well. Just a great athlete, both ends of the floor. He was Defensive Player of the Year, actually named in the MCC, Mark, so obviously that speaks for itself.
Jordan Widener thinking and wanting 3. Martin tossing it into Hopkins. Not the best pass. Hopkins clobbered. They did not call a foul. The Wildcat faithful, as well as Coach Tonigal, letting the refs know that was a foul.
Most definitely there. It seems like Patrick Hopkins, he has got a lot of calls underneath the basket, but you still have to call it. I mean, you can't just blatantly not call a foul just because he's got the benefit of the doubt more times than not.
So 15 seconds left in the shot clock. Widener kind of holding things for Troyer. 10 seconds now. They're going to take their time. Not always the best at running last-second offense. Troyer with a 3. Yes!
The senior says, take that. Didn't call the foul underneath, makes them pay from 3 land. Now the big man underneath, Patrick Hopkins, and Day getting shuffled up underneath. A few words exchanged.
The refs getting in between both of them saying, come on, guys. Let's not get this game ugly. Let's your offensive play has been ugly enough tonight. 8-point lead now for the Wildcats. That's a huge 3-point basket by Derek Troyer.
Stepping up at a big time as a senior.
Oh, and boy, the Wildcats looked like they were going to get a clean turnover, and they had the men. But foul called on Aaron Martin. That is his second. That is the team 4th, so we're still not down to 3.5 minutes left and not even in the bonus situation. So the Wildcats have played really strong, clean defense here in the second half. So Casey Pratt bringing the ball up for Troyer, with Troyer on him. Oh, he tries to go up for a 3. Doesn't get called with anything. The ball goes into Martin, and it is stripped away, but then Small gets it back. And they lose it again, and this time the Wildcats are able to retain or hold on to possession. They get it to Martin. He tosses it back to Patrick Hopkins. Widener was on the opposite side of Martin, wide open.
You could just see him raising his hands high.
He wanted that. Instead, he's pulling it out, going to just wait now and let some clock go off. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Troyer kicks it over to Widener. He goes for 3. Oh, it rims in and out. Patrick Hopkins gets it, and now Wildcats have the opportunity to put some time off again. They go inside to Vandewater.
Smart decision there for the senior. Hopkins as well, realizing the situation, backs it back out. They got 20 seconds to work with now.
Oh, and Garner Small thought he had a steal. Instead, he's going to be charged with the foul. That is only his second. But that is the team 9th. Jalot now coming back into the game. He's been taking a rest. Leafs and number 42, Sean Day, taking a seat. Derek Troyer with his second shot, and he makes that. So a 10-point Wildcat margin. Patrick Hopkins going to the bench and getting a rest. Taylor Schoen coming in. So we lose a little height here as Patrick is on the bench, but I would think Patrick won't be on the bench for very long.
Just tuning in, 10 points might seem like you got the game into control. IWU, it's just not been the case at all. Back and forth they've gone. IWU's on their latest run. Can they hold on the last 2 minutes?
This Wildcat team seems to really kind of play to the level of competition.
Yeah, so, they really do.
So we're playing the 8th seed, and one would hope that there'd be a blowout. But, boy, Chase, we have not seen a blowout here at home at all this season. No. I can think maybe of one back in December or November. But for the most part, every game has come down to the end.
Big games, they step up their games, it seems like. We had this couple big games at the beginning of the year against Bellevue and this top 5 teams. Grace, one of the top teams as well. They played extraordinary on those games. Just in games like tonight, just keeping these teams around.
Wildcats still with only 6 team fouls, not in the bonus situation yet. Chandler taking the shot. He's got 4 fouls. He's back on the court. And Schoen rebounding. Here comes Jordan Widener. 1:40 remaining in this game. It's still a 10-point game. And Casey Pratt fouling Jordan Widener. And so Widener will go through to the line. They're now in the double bonus. Casey Pratt now with 4 fouls. So Widener with 22 points on the evening, an opportunity to get it up to 24. Well, not going to happen on this possession. He misses the first.
It's not a 3-ball, that's why. 6 3-balls for, I think he's used to shooting them a couple feet back.
And he makes the second free throw. So 23 points for him, an 11-point game for the Wildcats. Casey Pratt bringing the ball up. 1:30 remaining in this game. Pratt driving on the inside. He shoots. It drops. And Coach Chupp calls a timeout for the Maple Leafs. 1:25. Or Garner Small will be charged with the foul. And it is Garner Small. That is his third. So Jordan Widener goes back to the line. He'll get a chance to add 2 points to both the team and his total. I think, Chase, with 1:23 and a 9-point game, we can breathe a little bit.
Yep.
Now 10-point game.
Finally, it's been a long time coming in this game.
But I got to tell you, it has been a battle tonight.
Really characterizes their whole season, Mark.
It really does. I know. Every time you come back here for a game, you think, well, maybe they can turn the ship around. I've been thinking that the entire season. And the bottom line is, this is the characteristics, it's the personality of this team.
Mm-hmm.
Pratt with the long 3-pointer, no good. Rebounded out by Pratt. He kicks it inside to Martin, who puts it up, and it gets dropped. And then the Maple Leafs call timeout. 68-59.
Right.
Whereas you get into this MCC tournament, or the whole action all season long, these teams know each other. Troyer's pass, he tried to get it to Hopkins. It's intercepted by Cody Chandler, and he cannot do anything with it as Hopkins trails him all the way down the court. Ball goes out of bounds. 30 seconds left in the shot clock. 58.8 remaining on the game clock. Coach Tonigal substituting for strategy defensive purposes. Vandewater and Schoen now in. Ball is inbounds to Day. A little bit too close under the basket. Now rebounded by Vandewater. And Small immediately fouls Widener.
Looks like that's just going to do it here. 52 seconds left at this point. Widener just got to add to his stat total. He's 25 right now. 6 3-balls. And hopefully capitalize here from the line. Great night for the sophomore. And combined effort, it didn't look like it was going to be this much of a lead late in this game, but they pulled it out, weathered the runs from these Goshen Maple Leafs, and looks like they're going to move on to the second round of the MCC tournament.
So just as you are planning your sports weekend, our next game will be Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Because we have the number 1 seed, we obviously will be hosting that game. In fact, we'll host the remainder of the games as long as we keep winning. So you want to make sure you tune in 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. I know there is other exciting basketball action around the country, but you cannot beat MCC action.
Looks like we're going to be playing St. Francis, so always great battles with them, especially in the tournament. Last couple years, the championship game has been against us and St. Francis, so always a battle against the Cougars.
Small just fouled out. Goshen not sure that he really does have 5 fouls. In my records, I only had 4 down. I can't help but think that because of the leaving him off the roster at the beginning, is it possible they charged him with a foul?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that may be where the 5th foul comes from. Widener making both free throws. And it is a 11-point game for the Wildcats with 46 seconds remaining. Wildcats applying good defense. Obviously, they don't want to foul. Goshen having a hard time. They need to get to scoring right away. Chandler going in, and the foul will be charged.
Wildcat fouls.
to Schoen.
Not really
to
sure
Vandewater.
who they called that one on. I mean, they called on Vandewater, but didn't see a whole lot of contact.
Chandler will go to the line and shoot 2. Chandler having an off night. Came into this game, as I mentioned a little while ago, in the last 6 games, averaging 22.3. Now, he only had, I believe, 16 against us this past Saturday. So that was one of his lower scoring games in the past 6 games. Aaron Martin fouled by Matthew Martin. So this is the ugly point of the game where we don't get a whole lot of flowing action. We just get a ball inbounds and a foul and free throws and running down the court and just kind of slow, ugly play.
Yeah, they're going to make the most of this last 32 seconds, I think. Possibly the last game of the season for them if they're not qualified for NCCAA Nationals. Obviously not going to make it to Branson, though.
Martin missing his first. Martin has not had the strongest night at the free throw line. Misses those both. So 3 3-pointers could tie this up, but in the space of 26 seconds, that's going to be pretty tough to do. Chandler with a long 3. It's off. Gillott rebounds and scores the basket. They're trying to get the ball to Widener. Instead, they get it to Troyer. He gets it across the half-court line. Shot clock is off, and Matthew Martin now fouls Derek Troyer. That is Martin's 4th. Oh, actually, that is his 5th, so he is just fouled out. That is the 3rd Maple Leaf to foul out in this game. The rough thing about athletic competition is unless you win the championship, and there's only one team that can do that, every team ends their season with a loss.
Right. That's why they play the games. That's what makes it so fun, too. But like you said, not everyone goes at home at the end of the season happy. Not many, actually.
When we first saw the Maple Leafs at the beginning of the season, January 7th, they were ranked number 12 in the NAIA, and then they really got into the heart of the MCC action and then took a tumble. They will finish the season with a winning record. Chandler hitting a 3, 8.6 seconds to go. The ball comes in to Jordan Widener, and I'm not sure they really needed to call a foul there, but they called that on number 13, Casey Pratt. That's his 5th. So they've now lost.
They're dropping out.
4 players to fouls, and Widener now goes to the line. 7.1 seconds remaining. He'll get a chance to shoot 2. It's a 6-point game.
I think this is a good building block for this program, though. Goshen had a nice season. They're going to finish 18-13 after this loss, but certainly, like you said, they had top 15 ranking for part of this season.
The key player they're losing as a senior is number 34, Jeffrey Gillott.
Just 2 seniors, too, for
just
them.
2 seniors. Their leading scorer this year, Cody Chandler, freshman. So there's a lot of hope